Hey, this is Ryan Phillips here, and this is my round 4 game against Miguel Angel Ceballos. Man, this game will haunt my dreams. I definitely should have won this game. Ended up drawing it. Just shocking that I didn't convert this to a win. Um, yeah, he ended up having 5 out of 6 at the end of the tournament, so he ended up getting $700 or so, and yeah, that really bothered me a lot. I was like, man, I basically gave this guy all this money because he definitely shouldn't have won this game. And then the same thing with my last game, round 3. He ended up finishing with 4.5 out of 6, so he had a good tournament as well. Um, so yeah, I should have been able to win both those games. So that's definitely a lesson that hopefully I will learn. But I've been saying that for a while now, so it's tougher. It's easier said than done, I guess. So anyway, the opening was the only non-Sicilian opening. So I don't know how much better I got in the opening in chess. I learned a lot about Sicilian, but I don't know if I learned anything else about any other opening in this tournament. So c3, d6. So I'm seeing this kind of passive move a lot more in these type of positions. So it's like kind of a Steinitz. I don't know, Steinitz in the Roy Lopez type setup. So the bishop can get developed. The light square bishop can get developed. The dark square bishop though is pretty much relegated to e7 now. So that bishop's gonna be pretty passive for a while. But I think that's okay in the Roy Lopez if that's one ends up converting to, which this game did. So I played d4, so just attack the center. And then he played bishop g4, which I think maybe is a little too aggressive here. So I decided to counterattack bishop b5, a6, take, and I probably should castle first and then take, but I took immediately. And then here I thought I found what was a nice move, but the computer doesn't agree. I thought after this move that my position was pretty solid. But he found a nice move, bishop d6, which I think is pretty much the only playable move here. The point is if I take on c6, I think this position is just fine. Let me, yeah, I think this position should be fine here. And then I can't even castle next move, unfortunately, because of bishop b5. So bishop d6 was a nice move. So after bishop d6, I played knight b to d2. And then I think here he made a substantial mistake. I was expecting knight e7 with pretty much dead equality. But he played knight f6 here, which I think is a slight mistake. So I played h3 here. Bishop d7. Castle. Castle. Knight c4. And then the idea is if he takes, I could take. Group says knight takes d6 is playable. Oh, so that's interesting. So yeah, so I have this possibility. So knight takes e4 would not be good. He played rook e8 here, which I thought was a slight mistake as well. So my MO this tournament was basically just to play my kind of aggressive chess, but not go too crazy. So develop my pieces, get initiative, and try to kind of control the game, which I think I did a very good job of this tournament. I think I was very successful in that. So he thought for a while here, played h6, bishop h4, and then he played a real strange move here. I didn't understand, rook e6, which I think I didn't care for this move too much. So the idea is probably just to get the queen off the diagonal. So if I take, he could take with the rook and that develop his pawn structure, which makes sense. But I thought it was kind of a slow plan, so I didn't particularly care for this plan. So I played rook fd1. I wanted to play rook a d1, which maybe is a little bit better, but I was worried. I didn't like the rook being pinned, so I thought maybe something like this. And I didn't really care for this position too much, so this is pretty even. So I decided to play this move to get out of the pin, but I think this is okay. So I was happy with this move. And then he played a real I don't know what he's doing, queen e7. So now this rook on e6 is trapped. It has nowhere to move. So I don't like his configuration of his piece at all. There's no harmony here. This should be a win for me, I think. But yeah, I didn't play very well. So I found this nice move, knight e3. I have the idea of swinging to f5 or g4. And here he played another real bad move, so g6. And then, if you're wondering how I didn't win this game at this point, so am I. Don't know how I blew this game. So knight g4, king g7. I thought here for a little bit I couldn't figure out which is better. Knight takes f6, bishop takes f6. I figured it transpose, so I decided to play the more forcing variation, just pick up the exchange. And then here I was probably again too worried. I said threat is just bishop takes h3, but apparently I can ignore this threat. And this is just another example of just being too worried, I guess. And then yeah, I get the queens off the board, and this is just very good. So I think c4. This is the move. I played too passively. Played knight h2, which I mean I was too worried about bishop takes h3. I should have. That's a problem with my chess game that I'm still learning. I'm overly worried about my opponent's threats. Sometimes the threats I'm giving them way more credence than they deserve. So we played h5 here. So just stopping the knight from going to g4, which was an idea that I had. So I forged ahead with c4. Played bishop e6, which I thought was a mistake. And then take. Queen, rook b8. And then here I played b3. So again, I was worried. Yeah, I was probably just too worried about nonsense. Too worried about things I didn't need to be worried about. Yeah, this queen d7, that's a nice move, just stopping the queen g4 check, so that's a nice move. Yeah. So, yeah, this is just, I got too worried again, so I played b3. And then I was thinking I might play this move, in which case I was strongly considering sacking the queen. And then this probably looks pretty good for white, should be winning. So he didn't play rook b6. I guess he was aware of that possibility. He played g5. Which I think is also a pretty significant mistake. So I have a few options here. I think that I like what I chose. I think my option of simplifying was best. I thought it was good. A good way to play the position. So I didn't want to take here immediately. I was worried about rook d8, and I think maybe again I'm just too worried about his threats. I think. Oh shoot, yeah. So yeah, that would have been good. Just like that. So yeah, and then yeah, I mean I think my problem is I know I'm winning, so I don't want to like allow my opponent any counterplay at all, even if it's very innocuous, like very trivial counterplay. So I should stop being like so scared all the time. I think I'm learning a lot. I think that's just about chess, just myself in life. Like I can't be worried about every little threat all the time. You know, sometimes these threats they're meaningless. You know, there's nothing. I don't have to worry about all this stuff all the time. So I ended up not taking queen takes d6 right away. I thought rook d1 was a slight improvement, so I didn't have to worry about rook d8. So I guess I should clarify though. Like if you can avoid giving your opponent counterplay, like rook d1, I'm happy I avoided giving my opponent counterplay. But I'm just trying to say that the counterplay that I would have allowed my opponent, it's not anything to be worried about, is what I'm saying. So, but if I could, like this is a great move. I think if I could avoid giving the counterplay at all, you know, why not? So, you know, this move I'm happy with d1. So this is a good solid move. Then he played g4. So I took, and then I played queen takes d6. And then I kind of overlooked rook h8, so I think I got a little scared here. So computer showing c5. So I was really worried though about like these kind of threats. Yeah, I mean, see, I'm worried about, again, I'm just worried about nothing. So, I don't know. I don't know why I'm worried about these non-threats. Yeah, so this is just, yeah, I don't know why this is just nothing to be concerned about. So anyway, so I panicked here, I guess, and even knight f1 is a good, that should be something I find. This is a good resource, because with the knight on g3, there's no way for him to get through, so the h file is pretty much meaningless for him. Say he tries like f6, then yeah, I'll just take the bishop. So, and then the point is like this. I mean, there's no way to really get to the knight. The only way to try to hit the knight is with this f pawn. The light square bishop can't hit it. So if he plays like f5, I can just take, or take here. So there's nothing he can really do to get to this knight. So I have to say, like, this is a great setup for me, and I should not be afraid of this. So maybe this is an idea. Yeah, and then just pick up the pawns, and my defensive this position is very well defended. So I think I panicked, and then another thing is I'm trying, maybe I'm too impatient. I'm trying to say, well, I have the advantage. Let's just mop it up as quickly as possible. So I played this holler. It's not a holler, but I think it still wins. But it's not necessary. So it's not a good move. So take, queen takes. And I think what happened is I just overestimated the connected pass pawns. I thought this should be just totally winning. But I didn't play it right, and that's the way it goes sometimes. So f3, and then yeah, so I'm up 4 pawns to the piece. I have 3 connected pass pawns, but the problem is they're all on light squares, and he has the light squared bishop, and I can't. It's hard for me to advance them. I've discovered. So maybe f3 was a big mistake too, to even allow bishop e6. Maybe I should have started pushing the pawns first and let him get the checks in. But here it's actually not so easy to convert this. So this was not good. I mean, my opponent just a few moves ago, like around this position, was like shaking his head. He knew he was lost. This is just a big mistake. Knight takes d4. It's really unnecessary. So this game disappoints me. This should be a game that I win. Rook a5. So just attacking the e5 pawn and starting to hopefully get my pawns rolling a little bit. 6, c5. But now his pieces are pretty active. The rook on d2 is a nice piece, and the bishop is contributing. So I can't move my pawns. So it's frustrating. So play here. He actually treated, and I didn't think I could take. So after rook d7, I played rook a6. Rook back to d2, and then yeah, basically this move gives away all my advantage. So yeah, this is not how you play chess. I couldn't figure out how to convert this. So here. 39, he played king d6, and then here I almost now I have nothing. I was really expecting to play bishop c8, trying to trap my rook, and I'm basically forced to play here. And yeah, I don't see what to do. So yeah, he should have played bishop c8. That's what I was expecting to play, and I was pretty worried about that. He played king c5, which I didn't care for that move too much. So I played rook b8. So just threatening to queen my pawn now. And then he played rook b2, which I initially thought might lose because I was just figuring I could go here and here, but this endgame is drawn as well. I think it's drawn. I don't know. Computer showing that the pawn gives me an advantage, but I don't think I can win this. So after rook b2, yeah, I didn't really have too much, so I played rook e8, and then he played king d6, which is forced. I mean, he could interpose a check first, but either way, king d6 he has to play. c7, bishop d7, c8 queen, and just a totally drawn position. So I don't know. I'm not really sure. I thought the only thing that was making me a little optimistic is I remember that Wang Ho beat Magnus Carlsen in a position like this where he had the extra pawn. I think it was a 4 versus 3 pawn, not 3 versus 2. And I was like, well, if Carlsen could lose this, maybe maybe I could do something. I don't know if that position is more complicated though than this one. It looked like the Wang Ho's pawn mass was more fluid than mine. Looks pretty stuck here. But I tried, of course. I tried. King e6, King h3. So just to play g3 and get my pawns, trying to get my pawns rolling. Oh, I'm sorry. I interposed a check first. Rook c6 check. King f7. Yeah, so the check was a waste. I should just play King h3 immediately. 49. Then Rook f2. And I tried Rook c3 just to guard a pawn. King g6. G3. And I thought for sure he'd play King h5 or King g5, stopping my king to get from getting to g4, but he played Rook f1, which I thought was a small inaccuracy. But I guess he had this idea of controlling the h file. So I played Rook c8, and I guess I was trying to induce a blunder. Honestly, I was trying to induce Rook h5. So that was my plan, but he didn't play that, of course. So he played King f7, Rook c7 check. What happened after King g6, Rook b7, Rook h2, Rook b6. So I guess f4 was played, but f4 is maybe a better move there. Rook e2, Rook b4, Rook e1, f4, e takes f4, g takes f4, Rook g1, check, King f3, Rook f1, King e3, Rook e1, King d4. Rook d1, King c5, King f7, f5, and then I don't know. I thought I should be able to play on for a while, but I kind of screwed up here somewhere. Rook d7, and I think King c6. I mean the position's drawn, but I should be able to. I wanted to play on forever, I wanted to see what happened, but unfortunately I made this stupid move, and then he has this move which I missed. That's a nice move because initially I thought I could just play Rook b7, but this would lose, or apparently it doesn't lose, or oh well, this wins. Man, I should have gone for this. This could have happened in the game for sure. This is good to. I hope people are watching this. Oh man, yes, this is beautiful. Wow, I should have played Rook b7. I think this is a trap he could have fallen into. This is good to know. Because Rook takes b7 is forced. King d7. King b8. Well, this is pretty cool. So, and then anything else besides King d8 loses. So he plays here. Yeah, this is a man. See, I bet you neither of us saw this. Honestly, I mean, he's a good player, so I don't want to just assume that. But I think this could have happened in the game very easily. Yeah, because when you see this position, man, king and pawn endgames are so tough. King c8 such a that move doesn't even. Yeah, it seems like such a counterintuitive move to move away from the pawns. Yeah, that's a beautiful move, King c8. This could have happened. Man, I should have played Rook b7. I should have played Rook b7 and then slapped my head or something. Oh man, this was cool. Yeah, I played Rook b8 unfortunately, and this just totally drawn now. This is a mistake. So Rook d4, Rook b7, King f8, Rook b8, and I offered a draw here. Yeah, so it was a fun game. I should have won. I wish I would have converted it. That end game though, that's pretty cool. Rook b7. I should have went for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll post my game 5 soon. And this is Ryan Phillips signing off.